Gavin, a 2-0 win back at home against Margate. Rather routine affair, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think comfortable, sort of comfortable and efficient probably come into play here. I'm not surprised. I think the last sort of 10 minutes when we had another one in the middle of the park and we passed the ball a lot better and looked a bit more sort of Ole-ish, if you like, and nearly scored the goal of the season with Mickey, which would have been great on his birthday. But up until that point, yeah, I think it's an efficient, comfortable performance. First 10 minutes had to deal with a few bits and pieces that they threw at us. But I'm not surprised because the couple of weeks, I keep on about it and I don't want to keep on about it, but the players out there not well today, still not well. Jimbo looking to come off at half time and managed to get through 90. Marcus, not himself, struggling, because he's not well. So I think that all of a sudden, just maybe lessens your threat a little bit, lessens your running power, and you start to see less of an Enfield. But actually what it was quite efficient and comfortable in the end, and I'm really pleased because we've kept a clean sheet and it's a long time since we've sort of sat from a league perspective and talked about that.
Indeed, 5th of the season, and you've taken the next question out of my mouth really, which I know that there are a few casualties in training on Thursday. That said, I suppose we never looked ragged defensively, but we certainly sort of put bodies on the line and we're still able to do that.
Yeah, Thursday, basically on Thursday night we spoke about this, I think we left 8 at home on Thursday. So it just became a training session rather than anything that was productive to what we did today, because you just can't do that. Just to really give those boys some time in the warmth to try and, because we anticipated that the likes of James Richmond would be available today in some capacity, would give us some energy today, would give us some levels. If we dragged them out on Thursday along with some of the others, then we might not see those levels. We might be in a different position. So we just, a bit of damage limitation in respect of is it training or is it the game? And obviously the game's going to win over any time. And as I say, Jimbo was looking to come off at half time. We asked him to give another 10 minutes. 10 minutes became 20 minutes, 20 minutes became 30 minutes, and we thought we might as well leave him on because he's out there. How he's going to feel tonight, who knows?
It's another goal for Sam Youngs. That's number 12. I suppose we're so spoilt for goals at home. It was just the 2 today, but you must be very impressed with the ability of someone like that in midfield who can make those kind of third man runs.
Massive. When I came here, it was evident that I knew Sam as a player from having played against him as such and managed against Enfield teams, and he was always giving a good return of goals, which was very important for us, because if you can get 2 strikers functioning and scoring goals, and you get one from midfield functioning, coming in with and we were talking in the 15s. If we can get one, a midfielder coming in with the 15s, and then you get a centre back who's chipping in with 8 in a season, something like that, then you've got a recipe for sort of being in and around it. Well, Sam's surpassed that already, I think, in all competitions, and going to surpass that. So it's important for us. But with the system that we employ, it's quite open at times. So there'll be a few. There'll be the stuff we've got to work on the other way. But he's absolutely worth his weight in gold in respect of what he does in and around the box at the moment.
You mentioned before the game raising performance levels, obviously made, as you say, a little more difficult given the circumstances around the camp, but we are back up to 3rd now and starting to kind of regain a bit of a cushion around the sides sort of competing for the playoffs.
Well, I haven't looked, is the first thing, so I didn't know the results, don't know how it is. It's just important that, I mentioned it, I call it the silly season. I mentioned to the boys before the game, that sort of December, especially over Christmas and New Year, you see some mad results every season. And that basically comes down to the fact that, players maybe don't look after themselves in that season as well. There's a lot of games that come thick and fast. There's so many multitude of reasons. Some of the conditions are difficult. We've just got to make sure it's not us. We've got to try as hard as we can to make sure that we come through December there's not a lot of games for us, but within a good return of points, and then over that sort of Christmas and New Year period that we continue that on, we're in a really good position come January, because yes, you never take your foot off the gas, but it's good to have a cushion, because what it means at this stage after these many games is that you're not fluking it. You're not fluking your league position. Sometimes after 4 or 5 games, you can see teams in a false league position for what we've done so far tells us that we're in with a shout. All right, but you know that with half the season, more than half the season left to play, I think you know that can soon change. So it's all about refocusing and reprogramming and not being complacent, basically.
And finally, it's a sort of bit of a break from league action. No game next weekend, and back on Tuesday at home to Brighton Sea in the rescheduled League Cup game. Is that, I suppose, an opportunity to rotate or sort of see some of the sort of secondary players at this stage, if you like?
Well, yeah, possibly, but the squad is the squad at the moment. We're thin. That's basically it. I mean, I didn't even have anyone to give to Dave for his commentary today, which I normally can. There's normally someone who's injured or someone who's suspended or something like that, but we literally didn't. And we literally said, well, I said, I've got nobody to hit you. But we'll have to look at that and see where we're at, because Plainey's come off with what looks like a slight hamstring. I'm not saying it's a pull, but more maybe precautionary. Sure. We'll have to see how that sets up. As I say, there's been the illness sort of situation, so we're going to have to look at it. Definitely, I don't think anyone's going to hammer me for saying that the priority is the league. Of course it is, but it's not a competition we want to just chuck away. That's for sure. But we are obviously taking all that into consideration. There could be changes, but before we finish up, I wanted to extend my best wishes to Margate in respect of the tragedy that the young lad who's lost his life, who's within their younger setup within the club. I didn't know about it coming here prior today, and John said there was going to be a minute's silence. I spoke to the manager. What it does is put football in perspective.
Absolutely.
In my view, harder even so at this time of year. So my heart goes out to all concerned with Margate, obviously the family, which of course I don't know, and you hope that as a football club they get through a difficult time and come back stronger.
Well said, and we extend our best wishes as well from all of us at Enfield Town. Thank you very much, Gavin. Cheers. See you Tuesday.
Cheers.